What's up, guys? This is me, Crimson6062. I want to say thank you to my patrons. If you want to help out the channel, please hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you want to become a patron, the link is in the description. Please help this channel grow and we can actually spread the word. So let's actually get into this, shall we, guys?
You know, pretty much from the time we're in high school, even younger in some countries, we get told that we need to find ourselves a good job. We need to work hard, study hard, so you can spend several decades working for some company, and if you really put your nose to the grind, you may wind up in the position of manager.
This is true. We all kind of deal with this. We've all been told this. And it's just something that is becoming more and more untrue. So let's see his interesting take on it.
And go grey at 35, you know? Like, that's the way we often get programmed. We get taught that we need to be responsible. And the definition of responsible is to sacrifice the best years of your life, to sacrifice all of the years to your life, good and bad. You know, don't retire at 65. See if you can push it out to 67 or 70. We basically get programmed or conditioned that the definition of responsible is spending your life cooped up in an office, even if...
I mean, like, this is true. And quite frankly, I mean, like, I can't shit on this whole belief because it's something that we've kind of been programmed to actually do. So, yeah, I'm agreeing with him so far. But I know there is a big old but that's coming because this motherfucker is a black pillar. But let's go.
If you don't have children, it's pretty much the way that you're expected to be, especially from men. Like, women have been pushed into the workforce too, but men in particular, because at least when you see like a 20-year-old girl, like an attractive 20-year-old chick walks into an office, there is that sense of, well, what are you doing here? You know, why are you here? You should be off modeling or something.
Wait, no, that's not how this works. Like, I don't see that shit happening. Like, this is stupid. Like, this right here is actually stupid because he's actually running in the belief that we're all told that, and because she's an attractive, pretty young lady, that she was told that, hey, this guy, you have to look like this because, or you should be modeling because reasons. That's not how that works, Chief. But let's go ahead. Yeah, some chick, right?
Tend to get that reaction, but nobody looks at a 5'9", 40-year-old dude with a big nose and glasses and thinks, what are you doing here in this dank office? It's like, that's where he's expected to be, you know, the overweight accountant type guy. It's just expected that...
Wait, I don't have glasses, but nobody expects me to be... I guess that's sometimes part of racism, but still, like, no. Okay, let's go.
He should be doing that type of thing. And it's sad, because that's not the responsible thing to do. One of the most irresponsible things you can do is waste your life. It's even been proven. They did a study, and one of the biggest regrets that people on their deathbed had was that they worked too hard. That was actually a measurable thing that many of them...
Wait. Citation needed, my friend. Citation needed.
...regretted doing. But in saying that, though, it's one thing to be, you know, 80 years old, lying there on your deathbed, thinking, God, you know, I wish I had done this or that. But you see, there's a much worse type of regret that can last throughout much of your life. That's not just something that you experience when you're old, but that may haunt you from the ages of, say, 30 all the way through to 75, you know. You may be putting up with it for 40 or 50 years. It may be something that dominates your life. And that is the living regret of not living up your youth when you had the chance, or more hauntingly, that you were never...
So this is something that I know a lot of people actually face. Hell, I face it, where I'm 39, be 40 in February, and it's just like, you want to kind of do other shit, and you don't want to seem like you're wasting your life, because, you know, you were told, you were told that you were just told that you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, and quite frankly, it's just something where we need to, yes, people need to be taught responsibility, but to the point where you're told that your only goal in life is to make money and become a productive part of society by just working under somebody. Maybe we need to have a different type of, maybe we need to have a different type of relationship to work and responsibility.
Given the opportunity to live
Maybe
a
we need to
youth,
have
that
a
it was
different type
taken away
of,
from you by forces beyond your control, whether it be your SB personality, or you didn't have the looks to participate, or some other external thing got in the way of what could have been a youth that you never got to experience. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Like, there used to be these memes that would go around the black pill community in many forums that showed a good-looking Chad with his girlfriend, and the idea, the joke was, the meme was that you will never have this, that the the guy who's 23 years old, who's never had a girlfriend, even if he becomes rich and gets himself a girlfriend, or he looks maxes his way to success, he's never going to have what he could have had he.
so this is another stupid thing that I actually hate, that I actually see in a lot of this community, is looks max, or you need to look this way or look that way, and you can trick a girl, or you can, like, it's so fucking stupid where people actually think that you can actually make yourself look more attractive, and for some reason that gets you more and more, of a chance of actually um being here we go. By the way, Thunder, I just gave you moderation. So yeah, you are moderated. So if you want to put a command link in chat, you can. So just want to let you know that. So, all right. But it's really, really fucked up because they think that it's all about the way you look, and it's not. A lot of these motherfuckers don't get that.
Growing up in a better social standing and looked better and not had his Aspie personality or whatever the case may be. And even though it's just a meme, the thing about memes is that they usually speak to a truth, and that's the whole point of memes. Like, let me give you an example, right? When I was a little kid, about 5 years old, I was suspected of being autistic, literally. My family, my teachers, everyone thought that I was maybe Asperger's or something of that persuasion.
So here's the thing about this, and he's been saying it's like SB personality. That's literally Asperger's that he's trying to say. It's where it is. I hate this because I'm not an expert, but I'm going to say it. So what a lot of people don't realize, the spectrum of of autism has actually been expounded. So you'll see in a lot of people that's defined what autism, ADD, where it used to be, oh, they're lazy kids, oh, they're this and that kids, and they're putting a stigma. They were putting a stigma in where they've actually expounded the definition of a lot of these things. And what also is happening with these people is that it's still a stigma, and a lot of these, red pillars, black pillars, they still don't want to deal with their personality issues that they have. And that's what's causing a lot of problems. That is causing a lot of problems. And because they don't want to deal with it, then they say, well, it's my looks. But let's continue.
Because I had no interest in socializing with the other kids. I would literally stand at the window of my classroom in my first year of primary school, what Americans call elementary school, and stare out the window for just hours, like looking at the wind. I remember in the last hour before 3 o'clock, the wind back in New Zealand would kind of pick up in the afternoon, and I would watch the trees and the clouds roll in the late afternoon, which I would know as a 5-year-old was an indication that I was going to get picked up soon. And I just remember
So, like, yeah, some people are smart enough to realize certain shit. And with them being smart enough to realize certain shit, sometimes he was just it seems like he was just socially ostracized where kids just didn't like his ass. And that's fine. That's definitely okay. But I mean, like, why are you telling us this story? Just say that they had the suspicion. I wasn't so cool. Let's go.
the other kids behind me laughing and colouring in and everything, and I'm just sitting there, or standing there, staring out the window. Now, I was never diagnosed with Asperger's or autism, but I was suspected of it for a long time. To this day, my mother gives me grief about my Aspie tendencies, but whatever, right? I get mogged by my own family. It's so over, bro. No, but anyway, where was it? What was it?
You know, it's sad because he really thinks that this is normal and, like, not normal, but he thinks that it isn't a problem. Like, and I don't know, like, I don't get it. It's just like he says Asperger's tendencies. Again, he's using the slang for it, and it's just like, dude, you may have some, and it doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that you just need to, like, you need to address it. It definitely is not okay to be ostracized, but it's okay to experience experience being neurodivergent. It's okay, and even if you do have those tendencies or antisocial behaviors, you can work to try to make it where you can work that to make it a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? It's not your looks, and that's the thing. Even if, like, that's what I hate. It's like they would take their antisocial behaviors and say, no, those are fine, or no, you're just trying to accuse me of it. And instead of addressing that, they address looks, and that's my biggest problem.
Talking about? Oh yeah, so this kind of introvertedness that I was alluding to in primary school, this very much kind of followed itself into high school. Even when I got to high school, I was still kind of an introvert. I was still someone who, I had friends. I did things with people. I had a friend group. I think they call it an in-betweener, someone who's like a halfway point between a nerd and a cool kid. I was never popular, but I had the odd friend. But this introvertedness still was kind of there beneath the surface. And it was this kind of introvertedness that prevented me from being that young normie who would travel off to some, young party destination for people often.
Wait, see, and this is the shit that I'm talking about. You are literally expecting or trying to be this person where it's like going to parties isn't a staple of youth. Being an extrovert isn't a staple of youth. Being somebody that's just the life of the party, hanging out with 30 or 40 friends is not a requirement of being a teenager. Losing your virginity at 16 and 17 is not a staple of being a teenager. It is how some people do, but not everybody. And I feel like they actually just have this expectation of what they want, but they don't have the gifts to be that. And so they say, well, I don't have any gifts. It must be my looks. And they settle in this place of it must be my looks versus my shitty personality.
In the Mediterranean or whatever. I think in America they have a place down in Mexico they go to, Cancun or whatever.
Wait,
I was never confident enough, outgoing enough.
Does he think that normal people just take trips to Cancun? Like, that's not a normal person thing. That's a rich kid thing. Or a kid with some sort of wealth. But let's continue.
to believe, and I certainly didn't have enough friends at the time to be confident to be that normie who goes up to random girls when I'm 18, 19, like that guy in the foreground, that normie who's just comfortable in that environment. You know, I could get so plastered when I was that age that maybe I could walk around.
Wait, he looks as if he's being a jackass. Like, the guy in this picture looks as if he's being a jackass. I don't know if you guys see that. Like, this guy doesn't look as if he's... I don't know, but let's
in
continue.
that place and just seem like some guy who had lost his friends but not have the courage to talk to anybody, but, you know, maybe drunkenly, like, talk to a dude in that environment. But I was never that guy, and that presented a kind of long-term problem. Because while I did make up for a little bit of lost time around that 22, 23 period, you know, I've talked about in the past, I don't need to go over it.
Wait, you're really doing this, dog? Yeah, no, not everybody can afford Cancun. Like, and it's like, I, yeah, yeah. Of course, he just enjoyed other shit. Like, yeah, uh, let's go.
But I had some good experiences in that 22 to 24 kind of area. But before you knew it, you know, I was 25, 26, and it felt like my youth was pretty much coming to an end already after not much time. And most people who do experience, you know, good teenage years and who go every summer over to like a party holiday destination with their friends, even they find that, you know, their youth is over before they knew it. And mine began very, very late. So
23, 24, your youth isn't over. Like, I'm sorry, I don't get that part. Like, can somebody help explain that one to me? 23, 24, your youth isn't over. It isn't. Shit is barely starting. Like, these guys expect some sort of like victory or some sort of accomplishment like as quickly as possible, and the fact that they don't get it. Wait, what? Exactly. Like, fuck. But Joe, I'm jealous you actually got to Myrtle Beach, but that's good. That's cool. Let's go.
So it dried up very quickly, and it's like sooner or later you're approaching 30, you're bordering on too old to go to nightclubs and everything, and it's
wait, who's at 30? Who's too old to go to nightclubs? Wait. Who's too old to go to nightclubs at 30? Motherfuckers in their 50s going to nightclubs. Oh God. Your youth isn't over once you get to past 30. But let's go past 24 out of college.
sad, and it took a long time to kind of like really accept it.
Yeah, Ziggurat, yeah. I'm not gonna be like other creators that I know that ask for proof, but that's funny. That is funny. But let's go.
And it's not just like the party scene, because I understand that there's a lot of guys out there and a lot of women who don't want this type of thing. They don't want the whole kind of, they don't want to party it up. They just want a wife and 3 kids and a white picket fence. They want the...
Wait. Not everybody goes to, not everybody thinks to go to, like, just because you don't go to a club doesn't mean that you literally want a wife and 3 kids and like, wait, what? Yeah, of course a lot of social expectations are lame, but let's continue.
It's the so-called American dream. And they feel that that's gone. You know, they look at photos like this and they see degeneracy. They see the fall of the West, oy vey. But I don't. Okay, I don't. I see something very differently. Like, I remember there was this guy that I knew one time, and every summer he would travel off to an island in the Mediterranean where there was all this partying going on every summer. And he would sleep with like 30 different, attractive girls every season. He'd work as a bartender and go home.
What? Citation needed. Oh my God, citation needed. Wow. Wow. By the way, guys, please, if you haven't already done so, please like the stream. Please like the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, can you throw me a follow? But he just say every season this guy will go because he's a bartender sleep with like 30 girls. Now I wonder where the exaggeration is, but let's go.
Home with like a different girl every night throughout his early 20s. And yeah, I met him when he was 27. I was about 23 at the time, and he became a flatmate of mine. And even then, he would still bring home like a different girl every weekend. And it was usually like a pretty blonde girl who was very thotty, like the one in this photo. The type of girl that, you know, her whole life revolved around going out clubbing in the weekend and meeting up with a Chad. This dude was probably like a Chad light, but very, very outgoing. And
wait, just because you were getting women doesn't mean that you're a Chad. And I know that there are guys in their 30s and 40s that are literally still getting women, and they just have that charismatic personality. Fuck, I probably could myself, but like, no. Yeah, dude is just jealous. And yes, kids are expensive. Trust me, kids are expensive. Cause like Joe, I understand like your whole thing. I have one child to support, but like yeah. So yeah, let's go. And no, he doesn't know the girl. He doesn't. What he is doing is he is bitching because he literally is jealous. But let's go.
yeah, he would bring home these different girls every weekend, and because he worked as a bartender at a local bar down the road in the downtown district, because we both lived in the CBD. And one day he got a girlfriend and he just stopped, like purely just stopped, and that was it for him. Like no more going out every weekend to pick up a girl, no more traveling over to, I think it was Megaloof or however it's pronounced, I'm not quite sure. And Ibiza. I think he used to travel to an island called Ibiza, which you've probably heard of. And he used to do that every summer. But he said, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just, you know, I've got a girlfriend now and we're going to move in together. We're going to find a house, because he was British, this dude. And he's like, yeah, we're going to move back to England, find a house. And that was it for him, because I guess he just got it out of his system. Like when you...
Well, fuck, like, I don't know what to say about this guy because like he is literally it just sounds jealous. Like it's just like it's jealousy is reigning with this guy, and it's like I can't even see why. Like he's been spending what 3 minutes talking about this guy, 3 minutes. But let's
you
go.
do something for long enough, you eventually grow tired of it. Like I couldn't relate to it. It seemed kind of like a foodie, someone who loves food, giving up all of their favorite foods to only eat chicken for the rest of their life voluntarily. Or it seemed like a millionaire giving up all of their money. The idea that this dude, who was 27 going on 17, who could have easily had a few more.
Ah, shit! Fuck this guy! Because he is literally doing the thing. He is literally showing the jealousy. Fuck this guy. Wow. Wow. He is literally saying, well, I would want to have multiple different partners and all this other good shit. And this guy's like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I really care about this woman. It's like he can't, like, CPB was the fucking doomer guy is literally mad because it's that whole Andre 3000 songs. He's like, how can I give up all this pussy cat in my lap? Like, but no looking back. Like, he is literally doing that international players anthem song. He is literally doing it. Wow. Wow. He is just jealous as shit. But let's go.
Years left in him. The fact that he would just kind of throw in the towel like that, it seems so premature to me. But it wasn't premature. Because what's the difference between sleeping with 300 girls and 400 girls, you know?
It just seems like he didn't want to say the word girls there. It just seems to me. But let's go.
What's the difference when you're that age? For him, it was the natural thing to do. And I couldn't relate to it because I didn't get to experience what he got to experience. And, you know, if you've watched this channel, you know that I had some good times, but nothing like this guy. I know that there'll be people out there who will listen to a video like this and they may be inclined to dismiss it as just some old dude just whining and complaining, you know, first world problems. And I sympathize with that type of reception to a video like this, but it's not at all. I'm not a whiny person. I'm not at the type of...
You just spit fucking... Wow, he just spent 5 minutes whining about how his friend can actually get all types of women and he couldn't. Okay, let's go.
Person to just complain about things that I have no control over. I speak out against that stuff. No, I would consider this video to be like a fire alarm for anyone who's young, like 17, 18, 19, to get off their ass and actually realize that they shouldn't take their youth for granted, that they should do everything they can to experience it. Because at the end of the day, you know, people can say, oh, bro, don't worry about it, just get on with your life, bro. But when you're in your mid-30s and your youth is over, you know, get on with what? The only thing to get on with when you go past 35 is to get on with becoming middle-aged and then to get on with becoming old. Now,
I'm not old. I'm not old. I'm not old. I'm not old. I'm 39. I'm not old. Yeah, sure, okay.
again, I'm not being negative here. I think that at every point in your life, you should stop and think, how much gas have I got left in the tank? You know, I know I've talked a lot of negative things about CRP.
The hell with you, Thunder. The hell with you. Oh, you got jokes. Okay, sure. All right, cool. That's fine. You got jokes. Let's go. I'm going to put you in timeout, but no, go ahead.
Coach Red Pill, but he once made a video called Your Life is a Car, and he had a good metaphor. He said that, you know, think of your life like a car with a full tank of gas. When you start off, you have a full tank of gas.
Wait, he's referencing Coach Red Pill. Oh my God. Okay, let's go.
But as you get older, you burn through that gas, and you don't. If you've got somewhere that you're going, you may wind up at Buckingham Palace. But if you don't know where you're going with your life and you're just walking on through or driving on through aimlessly, you may break down with barely any gas in the tank in some crappy suburb. Like, if you take some job, some off...
Like, this man has help me out with this one. Like, all right. I hate to sound like I'm jealous. I may be envious because he has some success. He has an audience. I don't know why, but like, that's my concern. Like, why does somebody like this have an audience? He literally shits and talks down to his audience to like say like, oh, you'll never be happy. Oh, you'll never get this. And my content is so like, yeah, shit is fucked up, but we can change it. I don't get it. Maybe like, do I need to like, I don't know. But like, it's no message of hope. It's no message of we can work together to change it. It's other than like, yeah, let's teach these whores how to do a lesson and shit like that. Like, I don't understand this. But maybe it's just me. But let's go.
This job, some low-level career because it's safe, you know, and you maybe, I don't know, I don't want to encourage people out of finding happiness or anything, but maybe if you met someone and you settled down and had a family, if you woke up at 35, like that movie, American Beauty, if you find yourself at a certain age wanting to not relive your youth, but live a youth that you never got to experience, then it's going to be over for you because You know, if you try and go back to university to start a brand new career, you're going to be that old guy and you're going to be competing with all of the 20-year-old whippersnappers, as they used to say. And if you want to go party it up in the Caribbean, well, you can't do that because you're going to be the old guy.
But people that are like, I'm like, young people now are not in a position where they have the money or the income or the stability to take those vacations. A lot of people who are doing that now are older people. That's just the reality of what's going on. They're older people. But let's continue.
It's going to be over for you. That's why it's so important to think while you have a full tank of gas. In fact, let me tell you a quick story. So, a few years ago, back when I was living
Yeah, he only does think about everybody else, but let's go.
in New Zealand, I know I tell you too many stories about my time in NZ, but whatever. There used to be this park called Albert Park in the downtown area. Back in the early 2000s, it used to be kind of dodgy, like there was a lot of like assaults and whatnot that happened, but as the 2010s wore on, they put all these new cameras in and all of these new lights, and they made it more kind of nighttime friendly, and it became more of a hangout spot for students, like during the weekend, because it was right next to the university. So, you know, you'd go there at 10 o'clock on Friday night, there'd be parties going on and like people sitting around drinking and international students congregating, that kind of thing. And I would sometimes go there, like I'd walk through there and hang out in the evening time, because you know, it was better than sitting at home, because I lived in the CBD, so it was better than sitting in my apartment doing nothing. It was better than going to a nightclub by myself, where I was 10 years too old to be there, and by myself.
Wait, you can go to a nightclub just to have fun. Just don't be the creepy old guy in the corner. Like that, like I don't think he gets it. I really don't think he gets it. It's just weird to me, some of the things that these motherfuckers believe. But go ahead.
So sometimes I just go there and, because there's lots of like hot Brazilian girls and everything there that would hang out. So yeah, it was something to do during the weekend. So one night I was sitting there drinking or whatever with someone at like 11 o'clock on a Friday night. And I saw this dude. He was one of those dudes that you'd kind of describe as like a borderline hippie with the bohemian harem pants and everything, and the patterned shirt, the cotton shirt kind of thing.
wait, wait. Why does he have to be a borderline hippie? Like, what the fuck? All right, I'm being pedantic, but let's go.
I don't know if he had dreadlocks, but I think he had like that shoulder length kind of hippie hair that you'd see. Certainly not my cup of tea. You know, I'm standing there with my RM Williams on, and my blue jeans and my flannel shirt. Not exactly the same kind of vibe from me. And anyway, I saw this dude, and he was with some girl, and they were like sitting in a tree, just talking. And I think I was already half plastered at that point. So I
Wait, he looks, by your standards, markedly worse as far as clothes and his demeanor. But he's sitting in a tree talking with a girl. Dog, maybe it's you. And yes, we've all. Yeah, he's jealous. But let's go.
got up and walked over, climbed into the tree, and started talking to them. In fact, I'll upload a photo in the background of the exact tree, because I know I can find it on Google, because it's quite well known. It's not a tall tree, but it's kind of like one of the ones, kind of like the movie Jurassic Park with the brontosauruses, where they're sitting inside the tree, patting the brontosaurus. One of those kind of trees that you can sit inside, right?
Stop fucking rambling. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stop rambling. Stop rambling. Okay, let's go.
And yeah, we're sitting in there. And this dude turned out to be 19 years old. He left home when he was 16 from the UK, had travelled the entire world. He'd spent like 8 months living in Afghanistan and had all sorts of war stories, like from, you know, being in Afghanistan and witnessing conflict. And he'd had all these different girlfriends that he'd met in all different countries. The girl that he was with then was like some girl he had met at a backpackers that he was now travelling with. And yeah, that was pretty much his experiences.
how many of us think he's bullshitting? How many of us think he's lying? Type one in the chat if you think he's bullshitting. Type one in the chat. By the way, if you haven't already, could you if you're on YouTube, put like on the stream. Thank you.
And he's sitting there telling me about how, you know, him and this girl are going to take off to Bora Bora in a couple of days, and then they're going to head off to South America, and they're going to do this and that. You know, they're going to travel to, you know, Paraguay or something. Then they're going to go through the Amazon, and then he's going to ditch her and do these other things, man, and then celebrate his 20th birthday. Blah blah blah. I'm sitting there listening to this crap, and I'm like 31 years old. I've got work on Monday, and I've travelled mostly back and forth between New Zealand and Australia, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm travel mogged, I've been experience mogged, I've been life mogged by this random borderline degenerate hippie. And
wait, I'm sorry. Oh God. Oh, okay. Wait. We all proceed at different stages of life. I've maybe traveled out of my state for long periods of time, maybe 6 times out of my life. And 3 of those times when I was younger. I went to California when I was younger. I've went to Mississippi. That was one. And like now I've like traveled my local tri-state area kind of, because I've as an adult I've been to Wisconsin, I've been to Disney World, to compliment me going to Disneyland. I've been to Vegas a couple of times, but like I don't see it as like, oh, I missed out on life. I went and had the experiences that I wanted, that I have. Do I want to have more? Sure. Am I in a financial position? Fuck no. But I'm not gonna just compare it to other people. Like I may compare it to the friends that I know and say like, yeah, I wish I would have traveled like you, but I'm not gonna be, oh, I'm nothing because I didn't travel like they did. Like, oh wow, wait, oh, and he's a degenerate because he's had more sex than him. But let's go.
you know, who I don't even know. And it was just, I was having like this like existential crisis at just how little I had done. Like when I was 19, I was racing home every weekend after uni to drop off my laundry and have some of Mom's chicken tendies. It wasn't, you know, I was in a very different spot, let alone.
So you admit that you, oh my God, he is showing that he's, if this story is true, it shows that he is less mature than this guy. Like, I don't know. Okay, let's go.
16 when I was coming home every day and playing Grand Theft Auto. So, you know, maybe I couldn't have done what this, you know, semi-gypsy guy did. And I guess the sad part, there's multiple sad layers to it. Some people, even if they wanted to do that, they couldn't because they're permanently unable to do so. There's something about them. There's something that's holding them back that they're unable to succumb. And they never experience a fun youth. And they never experience, you know, girlfriends while traveling. They never get to do any of that. It's not like me who maybe could have done it in my 20s but just didn't have the courage to do it.
So you admit that it's about you and your personality. Okay. These people are so fucking stupid because they feel that it's somebody else's fault that they couldn't be more outgoing. It's somebody else's fault that they couldn't have the sex that they wanted. It's somebody else's fault that they couldn't have the friends that they wanted. Never themselves. It's either their parents' faults because of the looks. It's the girl's fault because they're choosing Chad. But it's never their own personality issues. Okay, let's go.
I don't know. Maybe this video is a little bit too black-pilled. It's actually not intended to be. Like I said, the sound of a fire alarm is not a black pill. The fire alarm is not being negative, bro, because it only makes a sound whenever there's something bad happening. It's warning you to take action. And I like to think that's what I'm doing. You know, I like to think that there's a white pill buried in there, which is that, if you're still young, then maybe you have time to do something about it. And I'm not saying that you should throw in your job and do something irresponsible, but it's, food for thought. I guess the only kind of caveat I would add is that you don't want to wind up like Pauly Shore either. Pauly Shore, those of you that are young who are
Wait, who's wrong with Pauly Shore? He still has money and he has a family. But let's go.
like Zoomers, you won't probably remember who Pauly Shore is. He's actually before.
Yeah, of course, Lucky. A lot of these people believe that once they get laid, then there's no more problems. Once you get the wife and the kids, then there's no more problems. But let's go.
My time as well. He was more like my sister's generation, my older sister, like the older millennials and Gen Xers. They remember who this guy is. He was massive on MTV, back when MTV was massive in the early...
I hate that. It's that whole MTV when it was music. Like, no, they weren't ever all music. They were always trying to be pop culture. They just were named Music TV. But let's go.
Early 90s. And he was in some early 90s comedies. And that's him on the left there interviewing Bruno Mars in 1989, which just goes to show how pre-selected those breakout musicians are, like Bruno Mars. But that's a different video.
Wait. Did he? What do you mean pre-selected? That people would actually dedicate their lives to a talent, dedicate their lives to they dedicate their lives to, I don't know, being more like to a cause, to a skill, to a talent. Pre-selected. Okay, let's go.
The point is, you don't want to wind up like Pauly Shore. You don't want to be one of those people who peaked when they were young, who only experienced youth. I'm not saying you shouldn't set yourself up for a good middle age. I know that kind of seems like a contradictory point there, because it is a contradictory point. On one hand, I'm telling you to live it up while you're young, and then saying don't be that guy who only lived it up when they're young. To be honest, there isn't really... I can't tell people how to live their life and be happy. I would be a multimillionaire if I knew how to do that. I guess I'm just trying
to... Wait. Wow. Oh, wow. This man literally is actually saying that you should only, like, live it up in Pauly Shore. As Joe said in the chat, this man is still making money. Literally, like, okay, let's go.
Inspire some introspection. I'm trying to, that annoying dad who's like, I know I didn't study in school, son, but don't make my mistake. It's like, well, why shouldn't I make your mistakes? Why should you not get to study in school and then I have to? I guess I'm being that annoying dad now. But that's all I was trying to do. I was trying to inspire some introspection, that you can find a balance, okay? Don't be that guy who peaked in school, and don't be that person who missed out on their youth. Don't do either of those things, is what I guess I'm trying to submit to you. In fact, while I'm on the topic, there's a video clip of Paul...
Like, wait, what? Wow, fuck, wow. He wants to be somebody's daddy, so he's gonna be your daddy. Like, wow. Okay. Let's go.
Pauly Shore appearing on Joe Rogan, and I'm not typically a Joe Rogan fan, but it was very, very telling. It was a very, very telling interview, and it's worth watching if you want to get some insight into someone who really, really messed up their youth, who didn't capitalize on the opportunities available to them. And yeah, it gave me some good insights. It caused me to reflect. And
what's up, Adrian? What's up?
The final point that I wanted to make, and then I'll wrap up the video, is that you don't want to get caught up in the opportunity cost conundrum where, you know, a lot of people, they have their whole lives ahead of them and they have all of this potential, all of their options are still open to them. But what happens is that they know that when they make a decision to do something, to travel, to start a new career, they know that they close off other options. You know, they've got all of these options open to them, but they don't know what to commit to. Because when you make a decision, you close off all opportunities to make other decisions that you might have been contemplating. And there are some people out there that have all of these roads available to them. They're young, they've got their whole lives ahead of them, and they've got all of these options that are open to them. But the problem is that, you know, they can only go down one of them, because if they get to the end of one of these roads, which may have a lot of rewards, that'll be great, but they'll never have time to go back down and examine the other roads by the time they're old.
All right, so fun fact, you know, you guys, if you've been watching my channel for long enough, you guys will know, when did I start my journey for actually working on art and being an artist? I started this journey pretty late in life. 35 is when I really started putting context to making sure that I work more on art stuff. Like, this isn't a journey that I've been on for the last 20 years of my life. I've been drawing for that long, but just going to want to be that artist, that's been going on for like a while now, and it's just like, it's never too late to start. But this motherfucker is literally saying that if you're past 30, then your life is over. Shit. Like, and I fell into that trap too. I got married younger than what I wanted to definitely a person where it was just a bad look. But that doesn't mean your life is over. It's just actually starting. But like somebody like this guy, I don't know. But yeah, sure. Let's continue.
You know, one of these roads may take 30 years to finish, and you may be a politician at the end of one of those roads, but if you commit to one, you close off the doors to the others, right? And what happens is that a lot of people are paralyzed by the indecision because each one carries its own risk of rewards and benefits, and they end up just kind of not making any decision, just standing there paralyzed by the options available. And these people who don't make a decision, they never amount to anything because they sit there and burn through half a tank of gas just sitting there at the fork in the road. And before you know it, they're 35 years old and they haven't made a decision. And when they do finally make a decision to commit to one of these roads, it's too late to get to the other end of it. They're only ever going to get halfway down it by the time they die.
Everybody's destination is different. Everybody's destination is different. And just because you don't make it past one doesn't mean that you have to make it to the other. Do I expect to be some millionaire that makes billions of dollars off of art, or millionaire makes millions of dollars off of art like Banksy? No. Do I want to make just a living off of being an artist? Yes. That's just life, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, but let's go.
Time they're old, and there they are at the age of 50 on welfare talking about changing careers and maybe going back to university because they set off down one of these roads, realized it was too late, and then had to backtrack. And there they are at 50 at the fork in the road, back to where they started.
You're always at forks in the road. You're always at different decisions. You're always at, as been said by many people in the chat, it's never too late until you're dead. And you know what? One of the things that he said in this video earlier was right. The fact that nobody lies on their deathbed saying that I work too much. Nobody says that. As a matter of fact, a guy that I watched, Josh Fluke, actually says like nobody Oh, damn it, I should have worked more overtime. I should have did more things, missed out on life more because, reasons. Nobody says that shit. But a fucker like him, he would be one of those instead. But let's continue.
And you don't want that to be you if you're still young. And I guess the point that I'll kind of wrap it up on is you don't want people in your family or society.
Yeah, I want to stop and say this. Joe is right. You can't be 50 and getting welfare and living alone. You can't be doing that because the U.S. doesn't care about its workers. Like, it just doesn't. But let's go.
At large, or your friends, or anyone really, to like convince you that you should want to do something when you're young just because they think that you should be doing that. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Like, we often talk about getting cosmetic surgery, okay?
Yes, because these red pillars and black pillars and MGTOWs and intolerant people, they always say plastic surgery. Plastic surgery doesn't fix your attitude. But let's go.
I believe that there are times to consider cosmetic surgery. It's kind of a case-by-case basis. It's very complicated. But when talking to people about the issue of cosmetic surgery, you're always going to have, well, not always, but a lot of people are likely to have pushback from their family. Okay, their family are going to be like, oh, are you sure you want to get a nose job? Your nose looks good as it is. Everyone in our family has a big nose. There's nothing wrong with it. And they mean well. They're not trying to trip you up. They genuinely mean well. But the truth is, if you had been born with a nice, straight, small nose,
I have a big nose. Not as big as some other people, but I have a big nose and I don't run into an issue. I'm sorry. You know, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You know what stops me in a lot of cases from like connecting with women that I'm attracted to is either my attitude or hers. I We never have a problem of, oh, your nose is fucked up. Like, no, it's either my attitude or hers. And sometimes it is my attitude. Like, the fuck? I, okay, let's go.
they would be like, oh, you're so lucky. You got the best nose in our family, You're so lucky that you didn't take after your dad's side of the family, who all had big noses. Oh, he's so handsome, and best of all, he didn't get my husband's big nose. That's what your family would be saying, right? Like, if you were born with good features, your mother, when you were in kindergarten, would be bragging about, what a handsome little boy you are.
Wait, I've seen women that have ugly kids. Let's say it. They're ugly kids because some people don't look good until they get older because like they're big head and shit like that. But like they still say my handsome little boys or my beautiful little girls. They don't they don't unless they're a shitty person. They don't shit talk their own kids. Like that's not a thing that happens, dog. But let's continue.
Yet if you're born with unfortunate features and you grow up and you want to get them changed, it's like, why would you want to change the way God made you? Everyone in
Good news. I don't believe in God. Okay, all right, I'm being an asshole. Let's go.
our family looks like that. There's nothing wrong with you. And yeah, you're likely to be confronted with that. And they don't mean it in a malicious way. It's because they've known you a certain way your whole life, and people don't want you to change. People want you to remain the way that they knew you before. That's why, if you're a kid and you're into like fire engines or something, playing with fire engines, if you go around telling, your parents when you're
If he has a shitty response for this, like I don't know. This would explain a lot, but let's go.
7 years old, I want to be a firefighter when I grow up. When you turn 20 and you want to get into IT or something, your parents are going to be like, oh, I thought you wanted to be a fireman when you grow up. Because they knew you as a kid, right? That's why a lot of parents pull the wool over their eyes about their teenagers being, good little girls, their little daughter being a good little girl. Because when she was 11, she was such a good girl. And now that she's 14 and she's not spending much time at home, I think I can hear her sneaking out at night.
Is he going? No. 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 Don't go there, guy. Don't go there. Don't go there. He bet not go there. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's see if he goes there.
They don't want to accept that things have changed, you know. It's so much easier to pretend that Sally is still, the good little girl she was a few years ago. And yeah, that's what a lot of parents do. They don't want to confront the changes that take place. And yeah, if you decide that you want to travel overseas, you want to go geomaxing or something, you want to travel over and travel to Thailand and lay pipe or something, obviously you can lie about it. But if you want to do something kind of out there that's very different to what your family and friends thought you wanted to do, they may respond with bewilderment and maybe even a little bit of hostility in the face of what you want to do. But you've got to get through it. You've got to work through it, because they don't have to live with your decisions. You have to live with your decisions, okay? They're just saying it out of some vague internal appeal to their own aesthetics of who you are. They don't have to live with it for real. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up here.
Please, thank you. Okay, okay, Vegeta. Okay, we know. Okay, 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 okay. Let's go.
What I'll do is I'll finish off today's video with a quote, and I don't mean a quote from someone else, a quote from me, okay? This is a CBP.
Wait, he quotes himself? Oh shit! The height of fucking arrogance. All right, let's go.
Original, okay? It's better to have been Chad and lost than to have never been Chad at all, okay? If you have the ability to ascend, if you have the ability to do something fun when you're young, by all means do it, okay? And if that opportunity is gone,
wow,
well, you're going to have to maybe go watch that cope video I did about how to master cope, okay? You're going to have to find a cope. But if you still have the opportunity to live it up while you're young, it's better to have been Chad and lost than never to have been Chad at all. It's better to have been a Chad has-been than to have never been there in the first place. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening. See you soon.
I'm thoroughly through. I'm thoroughly through. Oh God. Oh wow. I'm thoroughly through. Like I can't with this motherfucker. I can't. Like he's literally doing the thing. He's doing the thing where you're just like, well, yeah, I'm gonna be a Chad. And it's just like, no, motherfucker, you sound stupid. You sound like you have issues. And I don't even know. Like, wow. Wow. Oh God. Oh my God. Yeah, he's super bitter. He's super bitter. But I I can't with somebody like this. The only thing that I can say is that yeah, he's definitely super bitter, and I am hopefully he actually never ever ever gets a what he considers to be a fucking family. Like wow, like